First fuck up of the night. Starting well. There. What was I doing? Was I doing it wrong?
Yeah. It was off.
It was off. Oh, good.
All right.
Sharing your fuck ups. Is it working?
Really? What happened?
You haven't turned it off.
Oh, God. Strike 3 and I'm sitting down.
Okay, let's try that. Oh, there we go. Trying it again. Sharing your fuck ups isn't easy. Think about a mistake that you made and how it made you feel. Did you feel embarrassed, shame, regret? I'm going to share with you my first mistake that was a shocker. The second one, just totally embarrassing. And the third one, the biggest one, but the one that changed my life. Let me give you a little bit of background. I was in Bali in 2002 when there was the Bali bombings. And after the bombings, Bali was so quiet. The streets were empty, tourists left, and there was a heavy weight of despair on the island. And a friend and I vowed that we would do something to help the local artisans. So we started working with this craftsman. He's actually sitting in the back. And we developed a brand. And the brand, we gave honor to Indonesia by naming it after a tasty meatball soup of Indonesia. Does anyone know what it's called?
Bakso.
Bakso, yes. So it was a fashion accessories brand, and using leather, often recycled materials, and really trying to embrace the raw beauty of the natural materials. And so this necklace was one of our first pieces, and it's recycled leather from shoe factories. And it was stacked together, cut aside to make the pendant. And we put a cow bone on the inside dyed with tea leaves. The message of the brand was really being bold and being brave, willing to take chances and willing to be different. So the brand developed over the first few years, and we grew the product line, and we developed our message. And we kept growing, but we tried to be really creative and innovative with our product line. And that's when we came across these beauties. So they're Indonesian seeds, and we thought, well, we can use these to make a product. And so we made the products, we photographed it, we showed it to our clients, and they loved it. So we put it into full production. Then we shipped it off to Canada. That's where our distribution was. But when it arrived there, it looked more like this. Ugh. So needless to say, we shut the box, we shut the office doors, we went to the store and we bought large freezers. I'm Canadian, that's what we do, we freeze things out. So we thought we could kill the bugs. We solved the problem, but the lesson learned is that when you develop something and you look at it in its present condition, you also have to look at what it would be in a different condition, a different climate, a different country, a different culture. So we continued to grow and develop a bit more cautiously, but we did. And we developed the brand, and we expanded the brand, and we ended up with over 650 retailers across North America carrying our products. We had showrooms in New York and LA, and we had reps in Toronto, Vancouver, and we just kept growing, and it felt great. Until 2008, when the recession hit. And honestly, it was devastating. Our sales dropped by almost 40% overnight. And you know that tight feeling in your stomach when fear hits? That's how it felt. We sat there and we wondered, how are we going to survive this? How will we keep our team? How will we make it through this? And so we came up with a plan. We thought, okay, we're going to make a product line that's less expensive. So we started working on it. And then we thought, well, we don't want it to look too much like our current line, so we got to make it look a little bit different. So now, this one to me is the most embarrassing because we came from a brand of natural products and really, recycling and really finding beauty in these products. And then we made a collection made primarily of plastic. You know that dream that you have when you go into a room and everyone stares at you strangely, and then you realize that you're naked? Does anyone have had that dream? No? Really? Seriously? That's how it felt. It was just embarrassment, vulnerability, and just really awkward. So we grew and we made it out of the recession. And we continued on until about 12 years in business. And then we hit a crossroads, and things were changing, and the industry was changing. And the trade shows that were our primary source of income were like ghost towns. And we had to do something. So we sat and had meetings, and we came up with many ideas. But my business partner and I, we couldn't come to an agreement. And so what we did was nothing. We kept it the same. And this, to me, was our biggest fuck up. Because we didn't change when we needed to. We didn't grow when we needed to. And so we fell off our path. That's a cut through road in Changu. And we fell off our path and we downsized the business in 2018. But the lesson learned is that innovation, growth, and change are just as much a part of life as they are of business. But the one thing that I hope you is that even though growth and change are inevitable, the important part is really anchoring in with your true values and your true vision. Thank you.